What's up? How's it going? It is your boy back with another video. Today's video is going to be about just the progression of bleach scaling over the years. Y'all did say y'all wanted this video. I had a poll. Do vote on my community page for like polls and whatnot. I do have that sometimes, but let's just get into this. So I'm on Versus Wiki since Versus Wiki is a pretty good time capsule for bleach scaling since their scaling doesn't particularly change. And at a lot of the times they do regress. We all know the universal bleach. Oh, multiple times. Oh, yeah, we got universal. Oh, they downgraded it. Oh, staffs only, whatever, whatnot they were doing. But let's take a trip down memory lane back to around 2017 when this banger dropped. I say banger, but it was a very bad video. At least for accurately representing the characters. So EOS was pretty generally agreed upon. They should be planetary. I tried to find Seth's old video on like the debunk of Naruto versus Ichigo, but I don't know if he removed it or what. But yeah, it had like, oh, they should be planetary. Was generally accepted that at EOS they should be planetary. Ichigo should be planetary, etc. We had like, oh, Yamamoto multi-continental, even though he's casually just like existing and about to destroy the Soul Society, but whatever. Either way, like it was pretty consistent. Oh, these characters should be planetary. Obviously, the pretty blatant feat of Yamamoto was right there. People didn't really accept Grammy. They usually said that, oh, he just did a portal to outer space, all that jazz. But at back in the day, 2017, this was it. This was peak, you know? Like depending on like what multipliers you use. Oh, Bleach can get up to large planetary. Like they had planetary at like Yamamoto. They did some multipliers like oh Bankai, whatever, and maybe they got up to large planetary. But that's basically just how it was back in the day. Multi-con, large planetary. Depending on like what calcs you accepted, you might have been like, oh, Ukiyora's multi-continental, and it's just consistent that okay, you're planetary and large planetary EOS. But yeah, that's neither here or there. Aizen obviously not accepted, being 5D, 4D, either way. But this is just like how it used to be. Multi-continental planet level, large planet level. People were like, oh, multi-con versus Wiki still doesn't have Yamamoto at planetary, sadly enough, but it is what it is. People didn't usually talk about the Soul King. They were usually like, oh, he doesn't scale. Universal at the time wasn't particularly accepted. This is just like the calcs that they used to use for, you know, boom, Las Noches, Espadas, large country, usually what was accepted around the time, 2017. But yeah, pretty consistent. People were like, okay, Bleach is like multi-con, planetary, large planetary. Things such as Senna weren't usually mentioned. People never really talked about it. Even back in the day with this man right here, Bleach Hub, he can't really talk about it back in the day for its time. But, multi-cont, planetary, that's where it basically was at the very end of Bleach, just at the start. People were talking about Universal, but it was very much rejected to just be wank and blatantly wrong. Which, as the current day will say, no. Uh, it's actually very consistent. Actually, is like you're higher than that. But let me not get ahead of myself again. Let's look at the speed. Sub-relativistic, speed of light, pretty consistent. People were like, yeah, they should be like speed of light around this time. People used to use he should be somewhere in this video, but oh, like lightning, so lightning speed. I know all of y'all probably remember this. If y'all have been scaling Bleach for a while, like this statement right here. Oh, okay, so Bankai Ichigo is, lightning speed. Like currently, we know that's a bad argument. We say, nah, like lightning, not even consistent with how powerful they are, how fast they should be. Stuff like the Ceros didn't really become a thing until like what was this like 2018? So like mid around 2018, people used to start talking about the Ceros, like, uh, and even like now, still people don't accept Ceros, even still to this day, even with their statements of being light based attacks and all that. But you know how it'd be. yeah, for this, sub-relativistic, uh, very bad. Versus Wiki, as you can see, Time Capsule, still don't have them really at the speed they should be. Quincy Arrows didn't have, people didn't really talk about Quincy Arrows either. That's more something that was 2018, 2019 around that time. But back in the day, just like when Bleach first ended, Multicon, large planetary. That was just like where they're at. Now, once we're getting more into 2019 type territory, we have, oh, okay, these characters might be getting universal. Obviously not accepted on Versus Wiki. The universal threat on Versus Wiki took a very long time to come. This isn't like the most recent or like the first one, but this was back in 2021. I believe like the universal threat started in 2022 sometime, I believe, but yeah. Kadichika beat all the Akatsuki. I couldn't really find a more recent video for this, but 2019, like it's pretty easily that yeah, these guys should be planetary. Clyde was making videos. Let's see. Soul Society Ichigo. Let's see. So a year ago, so 2020, around or 2020, around 2021, either one of these is around when okay, our guys might be planetary at the time. At the same time, people are like, oh, Senna's a thing, you know? Senna's canon. Senna's a thing. And we had a lot of people being like, okay, these guys could be universal through this. Like, this had a few pushbacks, but at the end of the day, around 2018, 2019, we progressed. We became more than knuckle draggers, and we're like, yeah, Yuha should be universal. About 2018, this man, even Bleach Up was on this shit, being like, yeah, should be universal. Having this calc right here, I believe this is Parrot's calc, around, like, this being, like, this I'm, it's an FTL, but this is just, like, a speed calc that back in the day was being used to say, okay, Ash Walden, yeah, you're massively FTL.
Is about 8 billion miles.
And then, boom, yeah, meters per second, whatever. That's just generally like around 2018 we were progressing more into the universal. Yeah, Yuha should be universal. That's getting a little more accepted. Same time we had other things like okay, these earlier like tier characters might be planetary and whatnot. So the multicons and just like planetary EOS was basically being upgraded in most people's minds. So like they should be universal to, some said low multiversal. Like some people didn't like that, but a lot of people are like, yeah, they should be low multi. You used to get laughed at like the year prior for saying that, but now it was just like starting to become a mainstay, like something that was generally accepted. Currently, for just the Espada, what is trying to get accepted, at least what I'm trying to push for, is the star level Espada literally being stated in the guide to have a star. Shinji saying, "Oh, are you trying to destroy the sun?" Us literally hearing it being called sunlight, being referenced as the sun, etc., etc. We literally seeing it. So yeah, and just like the cracks being the same as the Menos, like that's something that's still not generally accepted. That's currently what I'm trying to push for. A lot of people don't get it, but yeah, that's currently in the 2021 realm where the Espada are. Currently, like people were saying, oh, planetary just based off of, let's just say this man right here is planetary, even though the feat that they're using should be universal. People using my argument, and I don't even, but I don't believe Clyde has the full argument even in this video either, with all the scans and whatnot. But yeah, I don't believe so. But our boy Ichigo should be universal around this time. That's just the next jump that we're going to be talking about. So we had the planetary to, oh, Grammy and multi galaxy that was being accepted. We had the statements from Can't Fear Your Own World being like, okay, Grammy could be freaking crazy, you know. Galaxy Room. Let me pull that up. Grammy Galaxy Room. It was being treated as actual outer space and not just, oh, it's just, it's not just outer space. It's actually something he created, just like he normally does with everything else. But, you know, this even is being like, okay, some people are saying this is saying outer space could extend to an actual universe, not just galaxies. That is something that some people are trying to push for. Will it be accepted? Will we get more information? Will we get supporting evidence in the anime? Who knows? But that is something I will mention in here as well. Some people are pushing for, when Grammy says into outer space, he's just referring to outer space in general, so the universe. That is something that is kind of being pushed for by a few people. Don't see the support being too high, but yeah, people are doing it. This right here is the a more full argument for the Universal Sogyoku. The guide talking about how it overwhelms everything in existence. Boom, pow. Obviously, this is what's usually talked about. Oh, it can destroy the Soul Society. But everything in existence is the full argument. That's what it derived from in the first place. Just it being used as supplementary evidence is never used, though, sadly, even though that's how the argument originated in my mind and was made. But either way, we have the multiversal stuff. But let me just show Memories of Nobody for anybody. Like, send up Memories of Nobody. Around 2018, we're talking about how this space is literally infinite and how it could possibly scale to other people. People are kind of hesitant to agree to that, but yeah, nowadays it seems that a lot of people are much more open to it. We have even Versus Wiki talking about how Yuha is above this, so they are starting to scale it to other characters. Should just be Ichigo is above this. It's not a planet, it is a universe. But yeah, pretty easy. Memories of Nobody. Senna creates a dimension. It's literally infinite in size, new space time, then pushes them away. So pretty easy. Multiple universal feats right here. Aizen still is not accepted by the vast majority of people, but right here, unmasked, we literally have it being said not to be the same plane. Confirmation that yes, Aizen is a higher dimensional being. Aizen says it twice. There's nothing truly wrong with this, so boom. That is something that like isn't accepted. It's an old argument, but this is something I found myself. This is something I translated, which isn't really talked about. It could be talked about more in the future. Who knows? Immeasurable speed, I'll be tackling that later. If you've been in the channel, you would know about this. But let me mention another thing for speed, being the Quincy arrows. I don't have a lot of the Quincy arrow stuffs in here from the novels, but yeah, right here, literally being said to be a ray of light, boom. So with those, with the Ceros and the Quincy arrows, it should be that substitute art characters are light speed. Some people don't like that. Some people are like, I rather, Negation. Calc versus Wiki. Boom, Negation. Really exhausted. Lieutenants being relativistic. Oh, sub-relativistic. I think calcs for this to be relativistic and not just sub-relativistic, but yeah. I've seen calcs for it being relativistic, but it is just that Quincy arrows and Ceros are light. Some people are still trying to push back on this, trying to say that no, these are not light speed. Literally, though. This is the same thing with just universal bleach. Just at this point, are you serious? Literally having them go back in time, traveling through time. Just an epitome of just being light speed. Literally doing this back in the day in the sub arc. Not technically, I guess, the sub arc, but started the Soul Society arc, whatever. But we have this just being like, okay, these guys should be like planetary right here.
That is now. I realize he is fighting the fate to destroy the entire Soul Society himself, and
Boom. But yeah, pretty easy, pretty consistent. At people are like, yeah, a lot of these characters should be planetary, even at the start. Just bare minimum lowballing it, just like current meta that is like fully evolved, fully just my meta that I've created personally, that I've concocted. Soul Society, they're universal. Arrancar arc, they're multiversal, and it just progresses into multiversal as the series goes on. You can argue what dimension they are, depending on whatever you like. Oh, eyes in what sort of like 6D. Oh, the Garganta should at least be a fifth dimensional construct, arguably a sixth dimensional construct. But yeah, let me not get into all those arguments. I could be here all day talking about the multiverse of Bleach and all that stuff, but hey, I'll save that for that video when it does drop. Either way, conceptual powers, that's something I will make a video on later on, probably. But yeah, instantaneous movement, just some things for them having infinite speed, Kagerosa, boom. But yeah, that's basically just a quick dive into a lot of them. It progressed from at the end being multi-continental to large planetary to it being generally accepted that okay, Soul Society should be planetary at least. We're still not getting the star accepted, even though it is the actual logical progression, which we do see directly. But you know how it be. Some people just don't like change, especially the bigger it is. We have Hell, which people are always pushing back on, never trying to, never trying to accept being canon, all this stuff, even with all the information, as you can clearly see. Clearly, have talked about multiple times, but yeah, Hellverse, multiversal, pretty directly. Universal is not their cap. This is just something I just wanted to do since I thought it would be cool to just like talk about how things have gotten, I guess, accepted throughout time. I was it a tier list? Was it? No, I don't need a tier list right here. Yeah, I'm not sure what this guy currently is killing them. I don't care to watch his content, but yeah, he usually is on the uptake for a few of the things, slightly better than Clyde, but yeah, you know how it be. Hope you enjoyed this video. This was pretty short. I was just doing this because I find it cool just to see how we started with at EOS we have multi-continental to planet level. Some people not even accepting that. Now we have multiversal U-Haul, which not a lot of people are accepting, but haha, a lot of people do acknowledge he's at least universal. A lot of them do also acknowledge he should be low multiversal. So I just gotta help y'all do the push. Y'all can help me with this as well. Do the push and get it up to multiversal. Love you all. This was just a quick video. Yeah. I might make a video tackling this like the anti-feats for speed of light and all that and how people just don't like it. But yeah. Love y'all. I'll just end this video. Talk to y'all later.